Shop Talk, Shayat, Shayat, Shaddy up, Shayat, Day, Shayat, Shayat up, Shop Talk, Shaddy up, Shop Talk.
Tashina Daniel. Give it to him, girl.
Flipping through the channels on my flat screen, yeah. Wondering what's going on. The world is upside down and crisis everywhere. Ooh, but I can't let that get to me. So I turned it off and grabbed my keys and put the metal to the ground. Drop the top on my whip and I hit the strip just to clear my mind. Erase all the negative imagery so I can rejoice. This joy I have, I'm so glad I got it, yeah. Give it to me. This joy I have, you can't take it, can't take it away. Reminiscing on times past, thanking God for where He brought me from. Realizing that I'm nothing. Whoa, and He is everything. And so I brush my haters off my back. Ooh, keep it pushing and I stay on track. Cause I know that He'll be there for me. And His word will guide my feet. This joy I have, I'm so glad I got it. The world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, you can't take it, can't take it away. Rejoice when everything around you going wrong. Rejoice. Weeping may endure it for a night.
This joy, my joy, it's the real McCoy. JDZ stamped upon it. You got nothing on it, don't hate, doggone it. Won't trade it, try to pawn it. Shut them off from the circle if they had their eyes on it. Either thinking I should share, then you're just dead wrong. Deficient in attention, not listening to the song. Is that your mother calling? You better run along. Adios, arrivederci, bye, poof, be gone.
This joy I have, I'm so glad I got it. And give it to me. I'm so glad I got it all. Can't take it away, and you can't take it from me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can't take it. This joy I have, no matter how hard you try, the world can't take it away.
What is going on, y'all? Good morning. It is your man D-Toll. You're tuned in to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. We are here. We're doing Shop Talk Live, where you know what it is. It's what we do every week. We bring this to you right here on freedomradio.com. As well as today, we are live streaming on Facebook from our Shop Talk page. As well as for the first time, we're actually live streaming on YouTube as well. So wherever you are, we want you to be a part of the conversation. Hashtag join the conversation. So whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook Live, put your information or join us in the chat, and let's make things happen. I'm so excited. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit worn, yet still from Saturday's great event. And so before I go any further, let me just first of all say thank you to everybody that joined us over the weekend on Zoom for the Freedom Radio 9th year anniversary party. It was absolutely amazing. It actually exceeded my expectations, and it was absolutely amazing. We had all of our co-hosts on, and we was able to give away some stuff and play some games and do some things that we normally would do in person, but because SIP happens, we had to adjust and make things happen in a different format. Here's what we're going to do. Now, normally, I would be joined by people from literally around the country, and I kind of am. But here's what we're going to do. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to make some things happen. Now, before I do some stuff, now y'all know I got to be a multitask. So let's get ready to welcome today's co-host. Now, what I'm going to start with my mainstay. I've been watching TV and started finding out you always start with the person that's always there. Now, I had always been saving it for last, you know what I'm saying? But nah. TV says start with the person that's always there and then bring the other people on. So let's do that. Let's bring up my homegirl and yours from studio in El Sobrante of California. You know her. You're going to know her even better after a while before the year is gone. You're going to know her you're going to be like the whiners. I've come to know you in a very real way. You're going to know her in a whole other way. I'm just going to hush as far as I'm going. Let's bring up my homegirl and yours. You know her, the incredible, the effervescent, and the always funny Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, what's going on, child?
What's up, sir? What an amazing, wonderful introduction. What's up, everybody? I am good to go. I got a late shower. Praise God that I took a shower. Amen. I got my fizzy lifting drink. So we good. I'm looking forward to today's show. Absolutely. And I love you. I appreciate you, Dito. That was
that before.
Oh, I love you, Dito.
Oh my God. I feel super califragilistic type of special by you saying that. I love you too. I appreciate all of your love and support. And thanks for hanging out with us again today. So now, not only do we have Ashlyn, as you can see, in El Sobrante. Okay, there we go. In El Sobrante of California. But I want to now retch out. Yes, I did say retch. I want to retch out to the homegirl. She's back. She's been gone after a bit of a hiatus, but she's now back. We call her the country diva. She's out in Greensboro, North Carolina, where everything is green. You know her. She always makes me laugh. She's hanging out with us as well. And she's already starting to hit people up and let them know that to tune in. Now, first of all, as I'm getting ready to introduce her, now you guys make sure that you share the video. Share if you're on Facebook, share it. Don't do a watch party, but share. And that way you'll get even more people to join us. I see the numbers already starting to boost up, and we want to get as many people on here as possible. Now, my homegirl is here, and I think that she's already started sharing people to people because I start seeing people chiming in from Greensboro. That's all to the good. Let's bring up my homegirl, Devaris Burnett. Devaris, girl, what's going on?
Hey, so I kind of did both. Sorry. I did a watch party and I shared it. So it might have counteracted, each other. I don't know. But how y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you? I see you flanked with your Freedom Radio logo behind you, kind of like, Ashlyn. You understand? It's all to the good.
I had to copy her.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're making things happen. So today's show is going to be actually great. I'm actually excited about it because there's a lot of things going on. Now,
she did a switcheroo. She switched it. Yes.
Oh, is that what y'all doing? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm in the studio. I ain't doing all that. I ain't got time to be switching up. Listen.
I did want to say one more thing, though.
What do you want to say?
I am very, very happy today. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm happy anyway. But I got 2 A's and 2 B's.
Come on.
For this semester. So, yes, it was a struggle. But Mamacita did it. Yes. Now I got to do summer. Now I got to do fall. Then I do spring. And spring will be finito nomás. It will be last.
Come on, spring.
Yes, spring 2021. So, yes.
That's
so
good.
I'm excited. Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm super excited to have you. And listen, we're going to shout some people out that are watching in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to now bring up our fourth host or co-host of the day. He has joined the show and has been doing great things. He was very, very intricately involved in the Freedom Radio Anniversary Party. He took on the whole social media gamut and took us to a whole nother level, created a ton of videos, some of which we'll see today, and got people from literally around the country to send in videos, grateful grams, as he was calling it. And he has done an absolutely amazing job. He and Ashlyn now have a brand new show, which airs tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, called Better Together. Just within 2 weeks, just within 2 shows, this show has got on the ground running. And I am super excited about it. I tell people all the time that even though I am a part of the Freedom Radio and, you know, all that type of stuff, I don't have to be the face. And now I feel like finally in year 9, the face of Freedom is starting to turn or have additions. And I cannot be more excited. That's funny. Anyway, I cannot be more excited than to have my dude, Ja'Cory Proto, as now a part of the Freedom Radio team, man. And listen, he from this morning, and he is going to be now taking on the helm of pushing our Freedom Radio Instagram a little bit further and so much more. I am so excited. Ja'Cory, man, what is going on, bro?
Good morning. I just realized that I'm not a morning person, but I'm on time.
Okay, well, you know what? It's on.
Wait, you just realized you're not a morning person? Now, with the rest of us been knowing this. We've been knowing you ain't a morning person.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm like, oh,
he's making the adjustment. I will give him A for effort. He has definitely made the adjustment, and he's here on time. Ashley, yeah,
I got my little Hercules studio jumping off.
It shows up like seconds before the show starts, like 90. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, let me just give a word. You know, I'm always words of wisdom, right? So in this season, instead of making excuses, make adjustments.
Oh,
Amen.
okay. Yes.
Okay. That's what we call it.
Okay, I just moved a couple of pillows.
You in the service, sir. You're in the service.
Yeah, and it's all good. You know what? I'm actually glad that all of y'all are hanging out with us. Now, today's show is going to be super interactive. So I tell you what, normally I would get ready to take a music break, but, you know, due to Facebook constraints and YouTube constraints, I got to be very, very strategic on music that we play. So we're going to do things a little bit different. Now, we're still, in my opinion, we're still in anniversary season. So the rest of the month, for me, is going to be anniversary season for Freedom Radio, and it is super, super dope. Now, I tell you what I want to do. Let's get ready to shout out a few people that's hanging out with us. Let me start from the top and then work my way down, and I'll even put some of their comments on the screen as well. So now I want to give a shout out to Pancho. Now, as you can see, Pancho was tuned in, and then you see the YouTube logo on his comment.
Yes, I did notice that.
Yes, Pancho is watching us from YouTube. Glad to have him hanging out with us. Shout out to my neighbor, Gay Harris, who is hanging out with us as well. I don't have Sabrina today, so I can at least say this with great fervency. My cousin Derek Murphy is hanging out with us from Texarkana, Texas. Now, listen, DeVaris, you got to make sure I don't mess this name up. Now, is it Donna or is it Donna? How did you?
It's Donna.
Donna, I said it right the first time.
Yes.
We have Donna Brown hanging out with us out in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hi, Donna.
We mentioned, you mentioned Ashton Willie Robinson, Will Robinson, my dude, my guy, who is also in North Carolina. He is in the Clayton area, pastors a great church out there, New Believers Christian Center there in Clayton. Glad to have him hanging out with us. Of course, how can we have a show without Dee Dee Felder? As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm feeling Dee Dee Felderish right now. Here's what I'm going to do. You know what? I've had to stop the music. I am feeling Dee Dee Felderish right now. Here's what I want y'all to do. Let me do something. Dee Dee, how you doing? You understand? Here's what we're going to do. Let's get ready to let's hear a word from Dee Dee Felder. So I'm gonna move you. Let's move you for a second. Let's move you for a second. Let's hear a word from Dee Dee Felder. Take a listen to this, y'all.
happy 9th anniversary, Freedom Radio. Shout out, Dito. It's your girl, Didi Felder. I just want to say I'm blessed to be a part of such an amazing group of people for about the last 6 years. Amazing, amazing. Don't know why my single have yet to be aired on the show. Can't Get Down Like Ash, Tammy, Daisha Moore. I Can't Scat Like Ja'Cory. Dale Anthony got it in. I Get It. Tavares. Did y'all know that Deion Jackson can even sing? Michi, Sabrina. Poncho probably fighting an alligator right now as we speak. But again, I'm so blessed to be a part of an amazing group of people. Hey, happy 9th anniversary. The spiritual funnies, just the accountability, the segments, all the ministries birthed out of the show. Amazing. More to come. Happy anniversary. I holla.
No doubt. That is the wonderful and always funny Didi Felder. Shout out to Didi, man. Didi, appreciate all the love and support and all the things that you do. And it is all to the good.
Did you see how she was rocking that Freedom Radio shirt?
I seen her.
Only Didi can do that, though. That was flossing.
Only Didi can do it.
Hey.
Only Didi can do it. Dee.
That is so funny. So funny.
She was having her own party.
Right. But did y'all peep game, though, that she was also out of breath after them couple hip swings?
You know what? Why you going that shade? That don't call the shade now.
That's what I'm
Don't do it like that.
I'm sitting down. I'm out of breath. So you know
what? She needs some fizzy lifting drink is what she needs.
Fizzy lifting.
Didi, I'm gonna hit you up today because you need some of this girl in your life. You need
some good
some
stuff
of this in your life.
That
Woo, my favorite.
So you can get good and bubbly. Get good and bubbly.
Lift it now.
I can't with y'all.
No.
Also hanging out with us on the Facebook thread, Leon Johnson hanging out with us. And thank you, man, for the comment of the best worldwide radio, man. We really, really appreciate it. Shout out to my classmate, Adrian Kelly, who is in the building. Also, shout out to Casey Pringle. We will hear from him in just a few moments as well. Shout out to my homegirl, Patricia Farr, who says that Didi Felder is her cousin. It is all to the good. We got Stacey Williams.
Didi's my cousin.
She's your cousin too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, I'm not getting into that whole thing. Now, Didi
she might be your cousin. She's my sister.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I call her mama. That's my mama. Her mama. That's my mama.
So I can't trump that.
Okay. I feel you on that. I ain't mad at that. Didi said that she had just got through working out. That's why she was out of breath. And I ain't mad at it, Didi. Whatever it is, you're doing way better than I'm doing. You understand? I'm up here still huffing and puffing. I'm sitting down. How do you do that? How do you accomplish that? How do you be out of breath and you ain't even did nothing? But anyway,
he needs fizzy lifting drinks.
Maybe I do. Maybe that's what I should
probably
do.
have some, and you're probably in the closet right now, Dito, and you haven't even tried them yet. I bet. I know you well enough to know that.
Well, tell the truth. Shame the devil.
You never know
It's
what
a late start.
Going on with me. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But listen, I'm excited about today's show. Here's what I want to do. I want to actually kind of recap a little bit of the anniversary party a little bit. Then I have a ton of great stories to share. It's so much happening in the news that we've got to put this stuff into play. We've got a ton of things happening, and I want to give a shout out also to the Bishop and Apostle Ross D. Garrison, who has taken the time to just like the Freedom Radio page. I appreciate that. Those of you who are watching, if you haven't done so as of yet, if you have not had a chance to like the Freedom Radio page, the Shop Talk page, take a moment to do that. At FDR Shop Talk, both on, well, no, not just both, but on Instagram, on Twitter, as well as on Facebook at FDR Shop Talk, as well as Freedom Radio. As you can see down at the bottom, download the Freedom Radio app if you haven't done so. There's a lot of things happening in the app. We're going to be changing a lot of things to make things happen. And thank you, Dr. Garrison, who just chimed in to say the congratulations to myself and Freedom for the 9th year anniversary. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Also, shout out to Brandy Rojas, who's not only today, but was also hanging out with us on Saturday. Didn't get a chance to shout you out officially, but thank you for being a part of the event. Now, Ashley, let me start with you. What did you think about the whole show? What was your thought on it? How did you feel? What was your overall, thought about Saturday?
I thought it was amazing. And before I tell you how I felt about the anniversary party, shout out to Kevin Montfort, the second out from Chicago. I see you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I thought the anniversary party was amazing. I thought we had a fantastic turnout. I thought that it was well planned. Come on, teamwork, make the dream work. It was well thought out and well planned. We literally, for those of you that were attending the anniversary party, we literally had mapped out every 5 to 10 minutes. Every 10-minute slot throughout the evening was mapped out. And I'm telling you, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And so we created an environment for success by planning it and just being thoughtful of all of our listeners. We're so grateful for our listeners in the pew, because look, we'd be on Sabrina's couch if we didn't have any listeners, because we'd just be on here talking to ourselves. So we can't do anything without the listeners. So we salute you. Thank you for joining us in the celebration. And I'm looking forward to next year, because it's 10-year anniversary next year. So look, I'm already rolling out the planner. We getting started on this next week. So get ready, y'all.
That's good stuff. So now, we got people still commenting about it. Shout out to Kevin Montfort II. Is that one of the people you just mentioned, Ashley?
Yes, I did.
Well, awesome. Kevin, welcome to today's show. And thank you for joining in with the comments and everything, as well as to Gay Harris again, who said it was great and she enjoyed herself. Now, Devaris, who also was hanging out with us all evening on that day. Now, obviously, she's 3 hours ahead of us, so it probably had a different effect on her body once it was over, because it was like 10 or 11. But, I mean, give me your overall thought. How did you enjoy it? What was your thought? It's on you. Tell me what you're thinking.
It was fantabulous. Sometimes you got to mesh words together. Fabulous and fantastic. It was fantabulous. I had a good time. We had some people from Greensboro popping in. Brandy was there. Pastor Rojas. Yes, she was there in the building. And Lena. Oh, Lord. Lena Arnold. That's my girl. And I'm noticing that Shop Talk loves her, too. But we had a great time. We gave some money, some moolah, some coins, people like that. So it was fun all the way from the top to the bottom. So I had a really good time, and I'm glad we did it. But I'm really excited for year 10. So let's get started on that. So I'm excited.
Most definitely. Year 10 is going to be big.
And the spa card has been mailed. Amen. Hallelujah.
To me.
Well, I can hook you up. If you have not, because you asked not. So don't get yes. Okay, I can hook you up.
I hear you. That is hilarious. Y'all cracking me up. So not only was all of this going on with, now Devaris has been to an anniversary party before when we went with all the people. Obviously, Ashland has been to several, and Ja'Cory has been to a couple as an attendee. But this year was his first time participating as a co-host. And so, as he stepped into the batter's box as our Rookie of the Year candidate, Ja'Cory, I'm really curious, man, to know, what did you think about it? What was your experience, especially now coming in as a co-host? What was your whole experience over how everything went for Saturday?
I thought it was fabulous. I enjoyed the planning process. I enjoyed the helping process. And I just feel as though, coming from a newbie, glory to God, I just feel as though God has placed me on this show to mesh some things together even better. I just want to be the glue to bringing the pastor, the worshiper, the artist, all of that together, because this show actually is something that needs to go worldwide. So I'm here for it. Tell me what you want me to do.
Tell me what you want. Hey, Tell me what you need.
Tell me.
Hey, yeah, get at it, man. That's
there she go.
You know what? That's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't wait for year 10. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to be able to meet person to person, if this whole coronavirus stuff will be then calmed down by then. But if it has, awesome. I can't wait because we're definitely going to make something happen big. But if in the case that we don't, you know what I'm saying? I still want to be able to make some things happen. And whether we do it on internet, whatever, we will come up with something. Year 10 is going to be big. Now, before we get ready to jump into our birthdays and all that kind of stuff, I want to give a shout out to Georgia Baker, also to Sabrina Robertson, who's hanging out with us, the Denisha Sexton Dew, as well as Thedra Lorraine. They all have hit me up on my Facebook page to let me know that they are hanging out with us. So that is good stuff as well. Y'all okay over there?
I almost dropped my drink.
Oh Lord.
She's hot. She's high and lifted. She's high and lifted.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I want you guys to get it together because you guys are making me nervous. Anyway, listen, we got a couple things that we're going to do. So now, while they are getting their birthdays together, I am getting ready. You know what? I told everybody else to share the video, and guess what I haven't done? I haven't shared the video. So let's get ready to share the video. And I want to share now, make it public. It has been shared on my timeline. Don't you like how that works? It's awesome. Let's get ready to do one more thing. Now, Jacory, I don't know if I'm mad at you. I don't know what I am. I don't know if I'm frustrated. I don't know if I want to cry. I don't know if I want to fall out speaking in tongues. I don't know what I want to do. But somehow over the weekend, when you were getting all these videos together, you somehow was able to get a very, very special person to send a video. Here's what we're going to do. Matter of fact, I'm throwing y'all up out of here. You get out, move. I'll holler at you too. Here's what we're going to do. We're getting ready to hear a special video that literally floored me when I heard it. Y'all, take a listen at this.
Hello, I'm Bishop Jerry Macklin, and I want to take just a moment to give a shout out to Elder Demetrius Tollfree and company with Freedom Radio. Man, how proud we are of you and all that you've accomplished in your company and those that work with you, that have been associates with you in this great journey. You've went ahead and established something that many people only dreamed about. And the difference between dreamers and those that accomplish is that those who accomplish move beyond their dream. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you continue to do to lift up the name of Jesus. I'm sitting here at the place where you sit every Sunday morning. This is where you sit to play, and 9 years ago, you were sitting here. It was during that time that God gave you a vision, and you allowed the Lord to bring that vision to fruition through you and through what God has given you. You sat right here, and I just wonder sometime how many times the Lord spoke to you while this was going on. Listen, we appreciate you, friend. Thank you, and congratulations on 9 years, and keep going. And who knows, I may join you next time.
You know what? He played too much. I have to say, I don't know how y'all got that to happen. I don't know I don't know how y'all made that happen. But I got to say, thank you. That was you. That was Mammoth. I don't know if any of y'all heard the statement that he said, though. That statement about the difference between dreamers and something else he said is that the people, oh my God, the people who make things happen move beyond their dreams, and other people just stay as dreamers. He be coming up with stuff, man. I'm like, man, where did you get that from? And let me tell you something. That literally floored me, man. I thank you, Jacory, for making that happen, bro. That was Mammoth and War.
The whole time we were sitting there, Jacory and I were sitting there, I was, look at his face, talking about you, like, because I knew that was going to totally rock your socks off, as they say. So congratulations, Dito.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I also want to say, when you have a team of creative people, all you got to do is speak a thought, speak a dream, and we're supposed to be the little mice, like on Cinderella, bringing that thing together. So it was just a thought, and I spoke it to some of my other friends that are mice, and we just brought it together.
Yes. Shout out to my almost bestie, Stacey Williams, because she helped us to put that together as well. So she definitely deserves a shout out.
Yes.
That is awesome. I'm still floored I'm still amazed by that. And thank you to all of you. Tell you what we're going to do. Let's jump into our birthday segment, and we'll keep this whole thing going. I have a few. I don't have as many as I normally would, but since I am here,
shout out to Pastor Coleman, who is tuned in. Just want to give him a shout out. I missed you, sir.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you hanging out with us. And Pastor Coleman, if you don't mind, when you pray again, I'm sure it will be sometime today, I want you to call out Ashlyn's name. Amen. And the reason why I want you to call out Ashlyn's name is because we need to work on this takeover. All right, I'm just joking. No, actually, I'm not joking. I want you to pray on this takeover spirit that Ashlyn has. And well, I'm just messing with you. It's all good. Listen, let's give some birthday shout outs to some people who are having a birthday today. Ashlyn, I'll just be playing with you. Anyway, happy birthday to my homegirl, Deborah Leffridge from my church. She turns 43 today. Happy birthday to my guy from San Francisco, the Reverend Arnold Townsend. Today is his birthday. Happy 45th birthday to Anthony Lowe. Happy birthday to Adron Houston. Happy birthday to Calvin Peters, Tramika Richardson. And last but not least for me, happy 51st birthday to my dude, Pastor Ambrose Carroll. DeVaris, do you have any birthdays that you would like to share today? DeVaris, do you have any birthdays you'd like to share or no? Okay, we'll come back to her. Jacory, any birthdays that you would like to share?
Yes, it looked like you kind of have some of my friend list over there, but I'd like to say happy birthday to
on the internet.
What?
Break in. Anyways, I'd like to say happy birthday to Jessica Jackson, Shanice Chriswell, the Preach Machine, Arnold Townsend, and I also like to shout out Nona Brown's sister. Her birthday was yesterday. She's no longer with us, Sandra Martin. And that's all I got.
It's all to the good. Now, DeVaris, after you screamed out to the kids about slowing down your internet,
hilarious.
Are you okay? Do you have any birthdays you'd like to share? Or are you about to get up and lay hands on some children? Okay,
she's stuck over there.
She's moving.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but you know what? The devil will not prevail today. So long as y'all can hear me, we're good, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I do have birthdays.
I tell you what, it's not just you. There's a spirit going on this broadcast because it's like that's my connection today too. So
I'm so over this. I'm done. But y'all can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay,
don't yell at the kids no more, DeVaris.
Oh, I had to because I already had a meeting with the moms this morning because when you got 3 girls and they all on Netflix and they on Zoom and all that, I ain't got time for that. I pay this bill. Settle down for 2 hours. Give me 2 hours. Y'all can get back on it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But amen and hallelujah. Yes, I do have some birthdays.
Awesome. Yeah. About to say, you about to whoop somebody. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I have. I've done it and I shall. But okay, here's my birthdays. So our assistant principal at Kaiser Middle School, his birthday is today. Mr. Fowdy. Tamika Beasley, her birthday is today. DeWitt Jones from the Jones family, it's his birthday. Chad Littlejohn and Jason Van and Jeremy Israel and Brad Isley. And 2 days ago, Joe Dudley Sr. was his birthday. So I would like to say happy birthday.
Awesome. Happy birthday to all of those people. Now, Ashlyn, are you okay? You good? Are you all right?
I don't know what is going on. I really don't understand what's going on. Technology is not my friend today.
The ping pong?
No, it's really very surprising. Okay, so let's go with the iPhone because the iPhone never fails me. Okay, happy birthday to Christina Simpasa, my BU sister. Happy birthday, Jonathan Gordon, Michael Denton, sir. Marina Preston, Les Trent, Calvin Peters, Anthony Lowe, Paula Daniels, Brian Simpson. What? Happy birthday. Of course, you mentioned Arnold Townsend, one of my spiritual dads. I love you, Arnold. Today is Faye Carroll's birthday. Happy birthday, sis. Wow, John Fromer, one of my mother's dearest friends, who is shining down from heaven on us. Today would have been his 74th birthday. One of my mom's other friends, Eleanor Walden, she's 90 today. So many incredible birthdays. Wow, wow, wow. Now, in famous celebrity birthdays, today I know is Cam Newton's 31st birthday. I just know that off the top of my head. So that might be, yep, that's the only famous birthday we're going to get today. Back to you. No, wait. Now, this is how we do. Okay. Birthdays. Here's the beautiful thing about birthdays. You don't need technology to celebrate them. You don't need technology. So while I'm getting frustrated with the Wi-Fi connection and I need the Wi-Fi, when it's your birthday, just remember that you are loved. You were brought into this world for a purpose and a reason. There was a calling on your life. Today, I want you to just sit with that calling and accept it and say, thank you, God, for the calling on my life. And whatever that purpose or plan is, I know that God has already planted the seed in you. I know he has. I know that you already know what your purpose is, but you just need to water that seed. So why don't you take a minute today just to water that seed and just let it flourish like a new plant. You know, you put a seed in the ground, it requires care and attention, and you have to focus on it and give it time and energy every single day. So why don't you do that today for yourself today on your birthday? So from all of us here at Shop Talk and Freedom Radio, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. I'm glad we had a chance to do that and be able to get that thing going. Now, I want to shout out a few more people that are hanging out with us. We're getting people that are tuning in today that maybe this is their first time. I want to give a shout out to my guy, Nat Gator, who is tuned in today. Hit me up on Facebook to let me know that he's tuned in. Also want to shout out my homegirl. We've been friends since we was teenagers. Mary Williams in the virtual building today. Woo! As well as my guy, Kevin Peabody from San Francisco as well. Glad to have him hanging out with us as well. And so many more. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into our next segment. But while we're getting ready to go into our next segment, I want everybody to do me a favor. I want everybody to let us know where you're watching from. So all I want you to do is in the chat, list your city and state where you are watching from, so we can just start posting that on the thread here. List your city and state and let us know where you're watching from. Now, I have these incredible co-hosts that are all very, very smart, that are always doing stuff and making things happen. And shout out to Sandra Brooks, who is hanging out with us today as well. Mrs. Kennedy, what is going on, sis? Glad to have you hanging out with us as well. And so many others. You'll start seeing people's city and states to start popping up in just a moment. And we're going to make this happen throughout the show. But I have a question for you guys. Have any of you had a chance during this season? You know, everybody knows that SIP happens. I've taken that. Ashley, you ought to make a t-shirt out of that. You know, that was one of the ones that you should have made a t-shirt out of. You could have made some.
I mean, it's not too late. It's not too late.
Buy a t-shirt. I'd buy a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so all of us have been, you know, doing different things and all this type of stuff has been happening. Let me ask you guys this. Have any of you had a chance to take a look at any of the late night shows? Now, I've been watching CNN and seeing how they've been doing things. Have any of you had a chance to like watch any of the late night shows where they're promoting that they're doing the whole thing from home and stuff like that? Anybody? Any of you guys? Ashley, you have?
I've watched I think it's the Late Show with Trevor Noah. I watched the Trevor Noah show, and I love him because he's just sitting there in his living room and he's gotten real super creative. And he went from the first week to just him and the camera to now he's got special effects and the titles that come across and his team is doing things. So yes, absolutely. I love Trevor Noah.
Okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna ask you another question in just a second. So Jacory, Davaris, have either of you seen any of the late night shows that come on after the news and seeing them from home? And no. Okay, so then I haven't seen them either. I have seen some promotions about it, but I haven't personally seen them. But I do want to know this, Ashlyn, and maybe the rest of you can chime in on this. Are the shows for you as fluent as they were when they were in the studio? And if they were, do you feel engaged as much as you were before? And do you think that some of these shows will stick with that at-home format? So,
interesting.
Yeah. These are some good things to talk about. So, first of all, were the shows as fluent? Did they flow as well as they normally did in person?
Well, I can speak from like the Real. I've seen like the Real, and what's the other lady with the wear the wigs? Early in the morning, Wendy Williams. I feel as though the content it's still been good. It's been very different because you're actually able to see them outside of, the beautiful studios. But they still have been very good to me. They captivate my attention.
Okay. So do you think that some of these shows will stick with that format when this whole shelter-in-place thing is over?
I honestly do, because, my thing is you adapt to change. Sometimes when change comes, and this is just period, you're never ready for change, but when it takes place, you take the good from it and you run with it and you just mix it with the old.
Okay, I like the way you think it. That's cool. So Devaris, I mean, now again, you've seen some other shows. It doesn't have to necessarily be a late night show. It could be a early day show, like he mentioned, like Jacory mentioned, like The Real, Wendy Williams. There's this new black girl. I can't think of her name, with the short hair. Comes on, starts with a T. I can't think of that girl's name. Anyway, she has a new show and she's doing it from home as well. I know I'm horrible with names, but I mean, what are you guys thinking? Do you think that some of these shows are going to stay with the at-home format? They saving a whole lot of money on plane tickets, trying to fly people in and makeup and all this different type of stuff. I'm curious to think what you see. See what you think. Devaris, what's your thought? I'm coming to you next, Ash.
Yeah, I think it's opening up doors to be more creative and probably more being more personal with people. So, and also probably open up doors for people that actually wanted to start their own talk show and they can do it too. So it's kind of leveling the playing field, I believe. But I think it's a good thing, and I think it's something that we need to dive in more with, and like I said, give an opportunity for other people that always wanted to be dreamers to be more than dreamers and step past that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Pancho came up with the name. It's Tamron Hall, the new young lady who has a show, and her show is pretty good. She's a little slender young lady, half African American young lady with short hair. Her show is doing pretty good too. And I've seen it a couple times with her being at home. Obviously, she don't have all the hair and makeup that she would normally have because her hairstyle is slicked and waved and doing different stuff that she would normally do. But she's having a pretty good show. The clarity of her camera and everything. I look at it from aesthetics, everything, and it's doing pretty good. Now, Ashlyn, you may have a different view. So tell me what you think. The shows that you've seen, have you been engaged with the shows? And do you think that they will still stick with this home format when it's over?
Well, the show that I'm actually going to pinpoint is American Idol. So for those of you that do watch American Idol, this is, a talent contest for our young people, and they get together and they stay in hotels and they perform on stage together, big stages, and they have celebrity coaches and judges and all the rest of it. And the reason I'm choosing American Idol to talk about is because it is directly affecting me in something that I am doing and working on that I can't say what, but thank you for that. Yes, thank you. But what's amazing is that what they did for 2 weeks in a row, it's a weekly show, and what they did for 2 weeks in a row is they used footage that they already had on the contestants to highlight and feature the contestants. So, right, they were stalling basically for 2 weeks, and they showed great, it was great footage and good content, but it wasn't what we were used to seeing on American Idol. So after the 2 weeks went and they realized that this Sip Happens season was still upon us, they decided to do a very much like what we're doing. And the way that they did it to even the playing field is that they sent out equipment to the contestants. So everybody had the same chances of having the same sound and everything. They send them an amp and a mic and one of those circle lights so that they could have good lighting. They sent it to the contestants, and this was their top 20. So they had 20 contestants that they did this for, and everybody then took it upon themselves to be creative in how they, they set their stage behind them. They set cameras up in the room. Some people did it out in their backyard. Some people did it in their living rooms. Some kids did it in their bedrooms with the keyboard, and it was really cool. And I definitely have felt engaged. Now, I will say that there is some pre-recording that's going on. So we're not seeing them singing these songs live per se, because of, the potential of technical difficulties and all. They have to be well thought out and well planned. So I think they just have to pre-record those things, but it looks great. Then the kids come on, they give them their feedback, and now they've narrowed it down to their top 10. So I think that they will definitely go back to the old format. But in the meantime, shout out to American Idol for making the most of this time and keeping us entertained. And I think that other networks that have shows like American Idol are taking this into consideration, and they're looking to this model to then have success for their shows in case we don't get released to go back to to do it live on set.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I hear you. And Cynthia Lewis made a comment. Let me put it on the screen. She says, most of them would love to go back to work, looking forward to getting out of the house away from their children. Lord have mercy. Socializing with their friends and employees. Some things will get back to normal. I agree with that to a degree. Many people are ready to get out of the house. I also am ready to get out the house, and hit the malls, go to the beach maybe, as it's been kind of a little warm, although I can't swim. And I don't never put my feet in the water. So
you don't put your feet either.
So I'm trying to figure out, why would I be going?
Wait a minute. You go to the beach and you don't even put your feet in the water?
No, I just go out there to be in the atmosphere. I as you all know, I went to Hawaii a couple of months ago, and my hotel, my backyard of the hotel was the beach. I never got in the sand. I never.
Do you don't like people looking at your feet? Is that what it is?
Listen, beautiful are the feet of those that carry the ikanana, or that carry the gospel. So no. I don't have ugly feet or nothing like that. It's just the whole fact that I can't swim, and last thing I want to do is have my big tail swept out to sea, and somebody trying to come save me, and they can't save me because I'm too heavy, even when the water makes you lighter. You understand?
No, I'm talking about just your feet, like just literally up to your ankles. Your ankles.
Yeah. No. I respect.
You can't get swept out by your ankles.
You don't know me like that.
When the water comes, it's like sinking sand. So I understand, but I'm going to release rash.
Yeah.
I want to know what our listeners think, because I think that the beauty of going to the beach is to put your feet in the water. It's so calming and it's so grounding, and it's like, just like it makes all the cares of the world go away. Me personally, that's where I go to like reset, to regroup, to like. In fact, you know what? I think I need to do that today.
Okay.
I think I need to do that today. Cold and everything. It's cold. I'll bundle up, put my parka on, but I think I need to put my feet in some water, Ja'Cory.
I think you need to go see Ling Ling them. That's what you need.
So here's me. And again, I don't swim. Yes, I am from Oakland, East Oakland at that. But I don't get my feet in the water. I don't do none of that type of stuff. But
wow,
I'm ready to get out the house and do something. The mere fact that everywhere I go, everything is closed. Like the outlets is closed. They know me by first name. The mall is closed. Cheesecake Factory is closed. I have a horror story I can share, but I dare not. But all the places that I frequent are closed, and so I don't have a problem being around the family. That's all good and fine and dandy. But I would like to take the family. Come on, let's take a road trip. Let's go to LA. Let's go to San Diego. Let's go somewhere. But right now, since SIP happens, we all stuck in the house. So it is what it is. Stacey Williams is trying to tell me that I need us to get past our fear of water and learn to swim. Okay.
Have you been baptized?
I've been baptized.
Okay.
I've already been to the water. I've already been baptized.
So that means you stepped in the water and it was cold.
It was cold and it chilled my body, but not ikana, but my soul. And I've already been converted. And you know what? even without having to keep stepping my feet in the water, I feel all right. You understand? So that's where I'm at. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. You never know what will happen in the area that we live in terms of when things will be opened up. Those of us who are in California, we never know what's going to happen and when things are going to be opened up. But when it is opened up, I promise you, I will be making things happen. I mean, now let me ask you, while we're in this whole thing of potentially opening up things, how do you think that this is going to affect church? Now, everybody has been watching church online and everything for the last 2 months. When the doors of the church open back up, do you think we're going to have full churches, or you think people are going to still wait it out and watch it online?
Membership is going down because we had the opportunity to go and see our favorite pastor online. So, hey, it's. Let me tell you something. I'm going to keep it real right now. Sometimes I feel like this is a good time to actually know where you at with God, what you need to further your relationship with God. If the place that you're at are you going to get what you need to further it, or do you need to go and seek other refuge at another church or whatever? So I think this gives a lot of people understand where they at, where they want to be, where they should be. You know, so we're about to see a lot of switcheroos, I think.
I feel you. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Now, Jacory, Ashlyn, all of us are super churchy kids to a degree at this point. Jacory, man, what's your thought, man? Do you think everybody's going back to church, or you think they're going to wait it out a little while longer?
My real problem is the older seasoned saints, because the thing is, I feel as though this is kind of, they already have kind of been swept out of the church, and we've kind of get to a place to where I feel as though they're just in rest homes and we forget about them. But now it's like they're not into all of this new social media. So I feel as though it's kind of sweeping them out to where the church is about to lose a lot of wisdom, which they really don't give the wisdom the mic anyway. So I have a lot of mixed emotions, because now what is the ushers going to do? They're going to be handing out Clorox wipes and gloves.
Wow.
It's just
wow.
a lot.
That's a really good point, Jacory. That's such a good point. And, I think that we do need to be careful that we don't allow technology to replace, doctrine. And, I think that it's great that we have the ability to go into homes that we weren't necessarily invited into before. Now people can watch from their phones and their laptops and all that stuff, more so than ever, because service is like beautiful. I mean, people have transformed their sanctuaries into, online churches. And so it's been really great. But I think that that's such a good point, that we're losing the wisdom of the church from our seasoned saints. That's such a good point.
I think also we're losing the connectivity. Like, I've seen church online and it's good, but when you in the presence of others that is doing
Nothing
the same
like
thing,
it.
it's nothing like it. And that's the one thing about technology can't do at the end of the day. I can feel that you went through, and I went through last week, so we can come together. We can praise our way out of situations. It's hard to do that on technology. I would say impossible.
I hear you.
No, that's really good, because you can't really feel that tangible anointing and power that sitting in an actual service and connecting with people that are like-minded. So I really feel as though it's testing the remnant of the church to see, are you in the right position?
Yes. Well, let me ask you this, because some of the conversations that I've been having with people are about when you go to church, people are watching you. And so you act a certain way.
Come on now.
Because eyes are on you, right? But are you calling on Jesus in the privacy of your own home when nobody's watching? Are you lifting your hands in worship when nobody is watching? I mean, like my pastor will tell you, just stand up. Wherever you are, still stand up at the reading of God's word.
Right.
And I wonder if people are really doing it, because nobody's watching you. And here's the thing, and I believe Frederick Douglass said this: the character of man is judged when no one's watching.
That part.
And so you can feel like you're getting away with something by not having to put pants on or shoes on and be at church. You know what I mean? Because you're at home. But I'm telling you that it still matters. It still matters what level your dedication is, and it matters, what effort you're putting towards, really towards salvation and towards restoration and towards, all of that.
And the separation of the wheat and the tare. That's where we at right now.
Come on.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you guys. I mean, I am very curious to see what is going to happen next. And there's a whole, speaking of church, I tell you what, speaking of church, we know that, I don't believe that everybody's going back to church. But Ashton just brought up something that just made me think, talking about the integrity of people that go to church. And Ashlyn, because of you, we're getting ready to do something. I was getting ready to do something else, but you just made me think. So, to all you church folks, help a brother out. You see the screen. When you go back to church, you find this $100 bill on the floor.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. The question is, what's your next move? You go to church, you find this on the floor. What is your next move? Ja'Cory, what was going to be your next move?
Why you come to me first? Anyways, oh my God, is it offering time right now?
It may not necessarily.
Honestly, I'm looking like, is the Lord trying to bless me?
It may not necessarily be offering time, but when you go to church, you just happen to find this on the floor. What's going to be your next move?
I'm going to need you to just pray for me right now and come back to me, because I can use that right about now.
That's real talk.
Okay. So DeVaris, you go to church. You fresh out of sip.
Mm-hmm.
You find this on the floor or the carpet as you see of church. What are you doing next?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. I know me. I've been in situations like, for me personally, I found money outside on the ground. To me, I'm gonna be honest. This is what I honestly would do. I would put that money in the offering, and I'm gonna tell you why. God He's gonna bless me because I'm His child anyway. He knows my needs, and I've been praying to Him. Even though it's in the church, I still want to give. That's still to me first fruit. I found it, so I'm gonna give it because I know God He's going to bless me. He's going to continue to bless me. I don't want to take opportunities like that to supersede what He's going to do for me in the next 24 hours, the next minute, or whatever. That's just me personally. I'm going to put it in the offering. And I just know that God is still going to continuously bless me in my needs that I already prayed to Him about. That's it. That's that. So I've been there before because, look, I actually found something, and it actually was the negative for me. Things started happening, and I was like, oh, no. So every time I do that, that's fine. Now, if it's outside the church.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest.
The testing of your faith.
You guys are amazing. The hand of the Lord is over all of you guys.
You come and ask me that question.
I'm coming to you next. The mere fact that you all would just pick it up, and DeVar said it because it's first fruits. Now, first fruits would make me think that you only got to put 10 of that in there. But I hear what you're saying.
Right.
But I got time to get change for 100. I just know that I know I've been in that situation before, and it has been the detriment of me. I'm just speaking for me. So anytime I didn't do something that I found, it was bad. It negative things happen to me all the time. I just know that my God is going to supply my need regardless. And I will know, okay, is that for me? No, if I'm in church, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the offering. That's just me personally. But He's going to bless me regardless. That's how I think, y'all. I'm sorry. Boom, boom.
So you gonna put the whole 100?
Yeah. Because I know that He's going to supply my needs. So I'm good.
That's good.
He's going to bless your life. And I am so glad for people just like you. Ashlyn, what are you going to do, sis?
Let me just tell you, DeVaris is so saved. Tavares
You know
is so saved. You are so
No, I've
saved.
been
To the
burnt.
core.
So saved. Here's what I know. Here's what I know, Tavares. If you're charged in that way, then that is your response.
And thank
If
you.
if God charges you in that way, then I do believe that that should be your response.
And you know what? Before you finish, what you about to say?
Yes, ma'am.
I would not be mad if you took it and that was yours. Because like you said, and that was very powerful that you said. I think what we as Christians do is I'm not gonna be mad that you take it and you get groceries or put some gas in your car.
Come on.
Because your needs are not mine.
Come on.
I'm not gonna sit up here and chastise or crucify you because you did that. But because if I did that, thank you for saying that, because you freed not only me, but other people. Because I was feeling bad. I'm apologizing for what I would do. And thank you for that. Because I'm not going to be mad at you put in your gas tank.
No. And here's the thing. I'm reminded of the story that, it's a joke about, the man is drowning out in the ocean and, he's yelling to God and, a ship comes by and they offer to save him. And he's like, no, don't keep going. God is going to save me. Well, to me, that $100 is God giving you a blessing. And so if he sends you that $100 and you look at that $100, you'd be like, thank you, Jesus. Right? That's your charge. That's your charge. Put that money in your pocket and call it a day. Go pay a bill.
Come on.
Go get your feet done that need to be done, Jesus. I'm talking about myself.
Go see Ling. Woo.
Ooh, but if you are so charged to put it in the offering plate, then do that, because ultimately this is about relationship, not religion. So I can't, right? We've got relationship and religion and rules. And so you have to determine where you fit in there. Do you want to follow rules? You want to follow religion, or you want to follow the relationship? God is going to speak to you and tell you what he wants you to do with that money. So if you are so in tune with God and the voice of the Lord, then he will tell you what to do. For me and my house, it's going in my pocket.
But it's a blessing. Right. And you have freed, I just want to let you know that you have freed so many people that's listening to this message right now, just because of what you said. Whatever God charges your heart to do.
Yes.
That was my heart. That was your heart.
Yes.
That's why I love you. And that's why you are always going to be on top.
I love you too, sis. And I want to give a big shout out to my girl, Valari Humphrey, who is tuned in. Sis, I see you. We appreciate you tuning in. Let's go.
This is good stuff. You guys are hilarious. Now here's the thing. Now that was kind of impromptu, and we kind of threw that in, and you guys kind of made that whole thing happen. But up next, though, is something that I intended to do, and that is One Has to Go is getting ready to come up next. Now, but before we go to One Has to Go, we're going to hear another video of people who have been helping us celebrate over these last few weeks. So I'll tell you what, let's do a video real quick. And then after the video, we will jump into today's One Has to Go. I'm going to throw y'all in the backyard. Bye. And then to you, bye. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's get ready for a video that made me laugh when I saw it. And we'll be right back with more, y'all, right after this one.
Hey, what's happening? This is your man, host, comic actor Jay Red. Y'all already know I had to come and give honor where honor is due. D-Toll, big brother, and the whole crew. Shout out to Freedom Radio. 9 years. That is a significant milestone. 9. That's a big biblical number. 9 in the Bible means, let me tell you something, what 9 means in the Bible. If you look in the Greek and the Hebrew, I'm telling you, that is a prophetic number. The number 9, I'm letting you know, means so much power. I don't know what 9 means. I dropped out of seminary school after the second week, but let me tell you something. I know 9 means something. Do you hear me? This is your man Jay Red saying congratulations to 9 years of amazing radio. D-Toll, Big Bro, and the whole Freedom Radio crew. Love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. 9 years. It means something. I know it do. Something powerful. Holla.
The one and only Jay Red. That boy is some kind of, he's something else. Anyway, let's bring Ashley back. Let's bring Tavares back. Corey is back. That Jay Red, man, he is. I know it means
he's something else. He's something else.
Yeah, he's something else. Yeah. Anyway, have I ever told you my something else joke? I have a something. I'm not going to tell it right now, but
yes, you have.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of the funniest things I ever told when we was doing something at Actual Gospel one time. Anyway, so I want to get ready to jump into One Has to Go. Ja'Cory, you trying to get my attention?
Yeah, can we shout out? I'm not for sure if you know who Vera Lynn Carter is. Were you aware of Pastor Melvin Carter when he lived here in the Bay Area?
No.
But I want to shout her out all the way from Atlanta, Amos Carter's brother. But I wanted to shout her out. She's listening from all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And also Michael Nelson, a newbie. I see some of these new people I've been reaching out to. So I just want to tell them, hello.
Yeah, most definitely. Glad to have him hanging. Michael Nelson just chimed in and he says 9 years is big. Thank you. We appreciate it. And we are grateful. Thank you to Roland Wiley, my good friend. Thank you, sir, for the congratulations. Want to shout out J.C. Farr. J.C. Farr, many of you are familiar with the late, great Pastor Lloyd Farr, the father of Patty Farr. Her uncle is tuned in. J.C. Farr is tuned in. And glad to have you, sir, tuned in with us today. It is absolutely amazing to have you hanging out with us. And it's all to the good. Now, we're going to keep things going. Ashlyn, when I told her that we was going to do this One Has to Go, she was getting ready to call in sick.
I still might dip out. You might see Deuces.
Yeah, you doing a lot over there. He ain't been reading his Bible.
This ain't even right. This, to me, this is something that you would see as a suggested One Has to Go. Be like, oh heck no, we ain't doing that one.
Maybe who should go first? I don't know.
Who should go where? Who should go where?
Who should have been first? I mean, who should?
Now we did one like this. Ashlyn, on a show a few months ago, Ashlyn and I, it was just me and her. We did something similar, and it was an array of people on there, just like she's shaking her head now. She was shaking her head back then. Today, we're getting ready to go into today's One Has to Go, and now in today's One Has to Go, we're going to flip it a little bit to where we have to name one person that is going to be named the Kang. All right. Oh. Yeah, we have to name who is the Kang. So it's still One Has to Go, but a little bit slightly different to where we are.
Okay, you are forgiven, Dito. You're forgiven. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you. So today, I'm already still kind of nervous. So today this is what today's One Has to Go is. So we have to name who is the Kang of R&B. I know the Christian show and all that type of stuff, but all y'all are familiar with all these artists. All y'all grew up listening to and watching all of these great people. So we have to name a Kang. Who is the king of R&B? Is it Charlie Wilson? Is it Luther Vandross? Big Luther. Big. Is it Ron Isley? Or is it Marvin Gaye? Who, in your opinion, is the Kang of R&B? Now, to Robert, put you on the furthest part of the scope, we're going to start with you. Who do you believe is the Kang? Is it Charlie Wilson? Is it Luther Vandross? Big Luther? Is it Ron Isley or Marvin Gaye? Who for you is the Kang?
I would say this is hard because I was born in 1977. So I know about all of this. Who started it for me? I would say Ron. Ron is the one that started all of it, you know. But Marvin Gaye, you got different layers here. And all of them, so a lot of children were born off of their songs. So if I had to choose, if I'd rather have my rathers, I'd rather go with Marvin Gaye. And I don't know why, because, you know, I think he had all the it factors. Not saying the rest of them didn't. This is hard. But if I'd rather have my rathers, I would go with Marvin Gaye.
Okay, that's cool. And in this particular instance, there is no loser because all of them have made great music. But we need to be able to dub a Kang. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Let's take the picture down just for a second because we got people chiming in literally from everywhere. Ashton already shaking her head. So let's start from the bottom and then work our way up. So Delonda Burgess Wynn chimes in. She says Marvin Gaye. Lady Dion Coleman chimes in the same way. Dee Dee Felder also chimes in, says Marvin Gaye. Bonita Adams Jones.
Bonita Adams Jones, you gotta put me on. Bonita Adams Jones, you just gotta put me on. Bonita Adams Jones, you got it going on. Bonita.
Yeah. Bonita also chimes in and she says Marvin Gaye. Now, Mrs. Kennedy, Renee, she chimes in and she says Uncle Charlie. So she's the first person going with Charlie. Sandra Brooks also says Charlie Wilson. But then Gay Harris says Marvin Gaye. Now, Gay, are you saying Marvin Gaye because his last name is Gay and it's spelled exactly like yours? Is that why you going that route? Okay, it's cool. So Diamond Fee also chimes in and she says Marvin Gaye. But my dude, Casey Pringle says that this is a hard one.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Now, we always got to have a jokester. Somebody chimes in and says Prince. Patrick chimes in and says Prince. Okay. Shout out to Roland, who says that he grew up listening to Marvin Gaye as well. Now, Ashlyn, it is your turn. It is your turn. Now, if you were going to pick somebody, who are you going to pick?
Shout out to Patrick. I definitely agree. Nobody is ever going to compare to Prince, so I definitely agree with that. But in this instance, we are talking about these four fine individuals. So ultimately, I think that if we're going to, we'd have to base it on what? Are we going to base it on #1 records? Are we going to base it on song catalog? Are we going to base it on catalog? Are we going to base it on how well they sang the national anthem? Are we going to base it on ticket sales at venues? I mean, there's lots of things. So I think in this particular instance, we're basing it on feels, right? We're basing it on feels. How do these artists make us feel? And I think ultimately, this is so difficult. I'm with Casey on this one. This is so difficult because like Charlie Wilson, okay, if all four artists were alive right now, right? Okay, so Charlie and Ron are still with us. Luther and Marvin are no longer. If all four artists were alive right now today, whose concert would you go to? I know I'm going to say
Luther.
See, I'm going to see Charlie Wilson.
It's the same with me.
Marvin.
All his songs sound the same.
I'm going to see Charlie, and here's because
he give a good concert.
A show.
He
Charlie put on a show. But look, if you wanna like really break it down to songs selection, Ronald Isley and the Isley Brothers. There's no. I mean, Marvin Gaye. I mean, even Dee Dee is talking about Voyage to Atlantis. If you put Voyage to Atlantis on right now, you going in.
Yeah.
You're going in. You're going in. You're going to fall in love with the first person that you see. You're going to have the heart eyes on both sides. Voyage to Atlantis. It's just something about the ambiance of that particular song. So, no, Dee Dee, Luther ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Luther is not going anywhere. But this is a tough one because it's like, what are we basing it on? If we're basing it on, like, I don't listen to Charlie Wilson at home. I don't, but I'll go see his show. I listen to Luther more than all four of those, the other three. Luther Vandross is my #1 artist.
So funny you would mention that. Roland just chimed in and he says, I attended a Luther concert and was not happy. Wow.
Well, he could be kind of boring, but his vocal ability is
the chain is off to his.
All they're gonna do is
well, his background singer, Lisa Fisher, and them background singers, they're gonna give you an experience, though. They're gonna give you fabulous. They're gonna give you great vocals. They're gonna give you costumes. They're gonna give you drama, honey. You're gonna get drama from Lisa Fisher and the background singers. Oh, yes.
I hear you. Okay, so now we got one more person, Corey. If you had to pick one or consider one to be the Kang of our four, who are you going to pick?
You know, honestly, for me, this is something you should have sent in text form so we could do a little study. Because as I've been going through my phone, because sometimes you'll overlook Ryan and the Isley Brothers catalog. It's so many songs.
Yes.
But I feel as though Ron Isley would be the base to connection for all of these.
Agree.
Because my thing is, I feel as though we stand on each other's shoulders. So I feel as though some of Ron Isley has pushed Marvin Gaye to his era. But Charlie Wilson, I love Charlie Wilson, but all I know is Outstanding. That's the only one that really rings a bell. I mean, there's other songs, but that's the only one that's very, very bright. So, I mean, you know, I could.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel you. Now, Casey just made a great point. Casey Pringle Jr. says that Marvin had all the swag. I agree with you. That man would put them hands in the air. Them women would be going crazy. And Charlie Wilson is still a vocalist now. I just seen a video of him over the weekend. Looked like he was in somebody's backyard or whatever. And he was, singing and dancing, doing Outstanding. And I don't normally sit and watch people's whole video. But because it was Charlie Wilson, listen, I sat and watched the whole video, was cracking up, the whole nine. He was doing this little two-step and all the kind of stuff that he do when he do his show. Now, he put on the show. I did not see the whole show, but I happened to be up in Roseville. What's that casino up there? What's the name of that? In Roseville. Anyway, I was up there eating some crab.
I don't know.
I was just up there eating crab. And while I was up there eating crab, it just happened to be one of their Friday night concert series. And it was Charlie Wilson. And I was able to hear the sound check from the Charlie Wilson concert. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It was about 110 degrees out there. And I kid you not. It was like in the middle of August in Roseville. It was 110 degrees in the shade. And but I heard the sound check. Oh, he was getting ready to put on a complete show. Thunder Valley. Thank you, Sandra Brooks. Thunder Valley. They do a concert series every year during the summer. And let me tell you, there was so many church folk out there. I could have raised an offering. There was so many church folk out there, and they all came to hear Charlie Wilson. He had a church segment where he had somebody on the organ, and he was trying to pretend like he was preaching and going across the stage because he was preparing to do his little church song that he does. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
He put on the show. I heard it. I couldn't even see him, but I heard the sound check. It was absolutely amazing. I was wishing I could have went to that show. And those of y'all know me, I don't do R&B shows and stuff like that. But I was ready to pay for that one. I was gonna go. I was gonna make it happen. You understand?
Well, here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I propose. For those of you that have iPhones and that have Apple Music, go ahead and let us know in the chat. Go ahead and let us know if you are an Apple Music listener. For those of you that have Apple Music, put it in the chat. For those of you that use Spotify, go ahead and put it in the chat. And I think those are probably our two top music, outlets where so let's see, either Spotify or Apple Music. Spotify or Apple Music. And here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a playlist. And I'm going to put, let's see, we've got 4 artists. I'll put 5 songs from each artist on the playlist. So a total of 20 songs. And then we will talk about this next week. We'll have an opportunity to talk about this week, because I really would like everybody to, if you are not familiar with Charlie Wilson's catalog, to get familiar. If you're not familiar with the Isley Brothers and Ron Isley, all the songs that they wrote. So I'll go ahead and set that up. So let me know in the comments, Apple Music or Spotify, and then I'll create a playlist and we will discuss it next week to see what the results are. How about that?
I like the way you're thinking. So I see some people doing that. Devaris, yes, ma'am.
So Ashley, are you going to really balance it out? Like make sure, okay, and I'm going to keep it real because, it's R&B songs. So is it going to be a mixture of the nasty songs and then the really nice, supple songs like,
Well, here's the thing.
You got Between the Sheets and, let's get it on.
Here's the thing. that would require me to have judgment. So I'm not going to pass judgment on the music. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take their top grossing 5 songs.
Thank you.
No matter what they are. And that would be unbiased. And I'll put those 5 songs on the playlist.
Yeah. Okay. So no judgment, y'all. She is doing this by data, which is empirical research.
I think, sister, see, this is why I call you so safe, because I wasn't in judgment. I wasn't nobody tripping. It didn't even occur to me to have the thought of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't.
Well, because some people we are grown. Some people we are, but some people that's their struggle. That's they look.
So they are so saved.
I pray for those people. I pray for those people.
That's the reason why I want to
listen to my playlist. We going from Anita Baker into worship to SWV, Ron Isley, the choir, the Clark sisters. Everything is mixed in one.
Come on, Anita Baker.
Right. But see, that's not your liquor. That's not your. That's not your Achilles heel. So
call me so I can pray you through. Call me tonight. I need to pray you through this thing because flip the lyric.
That's the reason why Ashlyn is doing what she does, and that's the reason why nobody can go and say, well, she put that. No, this is by research, data, top grossing songs. So for my safe folks.
Dito, you done started something.
We all saved.
Hey, this is what we do. This is what Shop Talk is known for. This is how we make things happen. This is how we get the viewers and listeners and the numbers that we get, because we like to we tap into what we do what people are thinking, but they scared to say or talk about. So that's what we do. That's our claim to fame. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break to hear another commercial. Not a commercial. Hear another video from some of the people who've been wishing us well. And when we come back, we're going to jump in early to today's Ask Shop Talk. Ooh-wee. Sabrina's not here, but she did send it to us. Ashton is going to take on that today. Ashton's already like, yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to remove everybody just for a second. We've got a quick word of congratulations from Casey and Erica. When we come back, we'll have even more. Matter of fact, I think we're going to play 2 videos back to back. So keep it locked. Take a listen at this.
What's up, Freedom Radio?
Hey, Freedom Radio.
This is Casey. We just want to congratulate you on your 9-year anniversary.
Yes, happy 9th birthday. Thank you so much for always supporting us.
Always supporting
showing us love and playing our music. We appreciate you. Don't take you lightly. So
right.
Y'all turn up, quarantine style. Yeah. But thank you, Freedom Radio.
Many more to come. All right. Peace.
Dito, what's going on? It's your girl, Thea Lorraine. Listen. 9 years. Wow. Congratulations on your 9th year anniversary with Freedom Radio. I remember the first year. It seems like it was just last year. That's how fast this time is going by. But congratulations. I'm proud of you. And I pray that you have many, many, many more appreciations or anniversaries. God bless. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you, Deidre Lorraine, for your words of congratulations, and so many more. Casey and Erica always supporting us and making things happen. Tell you what we're going to do. Let me bring Ashlyn up. Ashlyn, I'm getting ready to nervously bring you up to take on today's Ask Shop Talk. Today's Ask Shop Talk again came from Sabrina and from one of our listeners that submitted this to her. And before we do this, I want all of you to know that today's Ask Shop Talk, the thoughts and opinions of it are not necessarily the thoughts and opinions of Freedom Radio. So don't get mad at us. We want to be able to help out somebody and make things happen. Ashlyn is still shaking her head. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Ashlyn. And then let me pull it up on you. She's still shaking her head. And here is today's Ask Shop Talk.
My. Y'all want to? You might want to have some Taylor Swift or Clark sisters or something close by, because you might need a little boost in your savism. You might need your savitude, boosted after this one. So today's Ask Shop Talk goes like this: my husband plays on an adult non-pro football team, and this is their first time ever making it to the championship. I'm I'm pregnant with our first child, and I'm due to be induced the same weekend. While I'm ecstatic for my husband and his team, I believe that he should be with me that weekend as I bring our child into the world while he feels torn. I told him I'll never forgive him if he misses the birth of our child. He accuses me of being non-supportive. Am I wrong? While he feels torn, I've told him I'll never forgive him if he misses the birth of our child. And it repeated itself. Okay, am I wrong? That's the question. So I told him she wants to know if she's wrong for not forgiving him. So her husband's team is up for their first championship of all time. She's scheduled to be induced. I want y'all to pay attention to this. I want you to pay attention to this language. She's scheduled to be induced. Is she wrong for making him not go to his championship game and going to be there for the birth of their child?
So
I did everybody a favor. I did everybody a favor because I made it plain. Okay, I made it plain. I highlighted some of the language that's in this because there's one key point to this Ask Shop Talk, but I just want to hear what y'all have to say.
Okay, so a couple things. DeJoy chimed in and she says if she's having a baby during this pandemic, he's safe. Then Lady Dion chimes in and Gay Harris says something very much similar the same way, is to change the induction date. I hear both of y'all. So here's Sandra Brooks is chiming in. I'm a teeter-totter between the comments happening on Facebook and YouTube and our co-host. So Ashley, I will come back to you. Davaris.
I knew you was going to come to me first.
I want to start with you. And sounds like you got the kids off Netflix because I see you moving and talking all at one time. I don't know what else you text and yelled with the kids, but whatever it is, it works. So knowing today's scenario, what is your thought on this?
I am so glad my sister Ashlyn highlighted those words, scheduled to be induced. I have been induced before. My first child, Ariana, she was induced. She was actually born on Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, I don't care about Super Bowl Sunday. So if you come, I done have people say, "Oh, the baby's so cute." Well, I'm about to go to a party, sure, because I did it 9 o'clock in the morning. We're good. Whatever. But the mere fact that I understand as being a wife, this is your first child, you're nervous, you're scared. I get it. Being induced for several different reasons. Mine was because my baby was underweight, so they thought she'll do better outside of the womb. Okay, I still waited, because I had a cerclage. So yeah, that's a whole nother subject. But
what?
A cerclage. So what that means is I had my cervix sewn up because I was dilated 3 centimeters at 18 weeks.
Oh my!
Right. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
I thought when you said that, I thought you were Frenchifying the word schedule. I didn't understand. I was like, she just Frenchified scalade.
And I miss Frenchified. You ain't said it in a long time. Yeah, a cerclage is when you sew up the cervix. So
okay,
I definitely understand. Mine was a medical situation. So in saying so, we don't know if hers was like because of medical or whatever, but it is scheduled. So one more day, in my opinion, ain't gonna hurt nobody. And let that man, because that's his first too, a championship and your first child. Who got the ability to move will be you. So move it to the next day.
Right.
I had to wait for my doctor. Now, this is shade right here. I love him though, Dr. Tavon. I love him. But I had to wait a whole nother week because he was moving his furniture out of his beach house. So it can be done. But I think when you put stipulations in the relationship and you say, I will never forgive you, we got to first understand where this relationship is in the first place. The mere fact that you even came that way with the man that you sleep with, the man that you put your vows to, thou shalt not, and I will love, and whatever their vows was. Where's the state of their relationship in the first place for you to even say that I will never forgive you if you did that? And what type of movement do you want to put that on your husband as head of your household?
I do want to point out Sabrina Robertson. Shout out to her, who is the manager, the leader, the CEO of Ask Shop Talk. She asked, "Are they equal in priority? Wife, baby, and a football game? These are equal in priority?" That's an interesting question. Thank you for that. And you know, we on Shop Talk, some of us are shocked by some of the responses. Ashley McAllister says it's not the Super Bowl. He needs to have several seats. Dee Felder,
that might be his Super Bowl.
That part, and you can move your date. One more day.
My thing is, if we switch this over and it was me, and I'm just up for a Stella Award, or I need, first of all, in this relationship, for there to be some dialogue, for you to know my heart, to know that my heart would be still torn, but this is my dream. You get what I'm saying? To where you would know my heart to know that I want to be in two places, but I can't.
All I can hear is Jamie Foxx singing, "When I First Saw You." That's all I can hear. That's all I can hear. You were my dream. Yes. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Here, I think that the key thing for me in this, and Dito, I'm coming to you next because I really would like to hear your opinion. But I think the key for me in this is that what's flexible, right? Here's the thing. Babies, and some people are not going to like me for saying this, babies are not meant to be scheduled for induction, okay? Babies know when they're ready to come out, and that's when they'll come out. Now, when you have an emergency, or we're talking about blood pressure issues, or the baby is breech or something like that, and they have to schedule a C-section, that's one thing. But scheduling an induction to be induced, this is kind of and I feel people clicking unfollow. I hear it. I hear the clicks of unfollows right now.
I hope not.
When you're induced, you're basically forcing your body to push the baby out, right? This is not a C-section. We're not talking about being scheduled for a C-section.
That's true.
If the baby's not ready to come out, it won't come out. I promise you, eventually the baby will come out. The baby's going to come out eventually. The baby cannot stay in there forever. And the baby knows when the baby's ready to come out. So this is just, you know, if she's scheduling an induction, sister girl, just change the date. Just change the date. And it's like the baby has to fit into her schedule, right? This is why she's scheduled the induction. So just go ahead and have your husband fit into your schedule too. How about that? Dito, let's go to you, sir. What are your thoughts and opinions? I hear you hear the clicking. Unfollow. I hear it. Click. Unfollow. Unfriend. I hear it.
I want to take a moment and highlight what Stacey Williams mentioned just a moment ago, and answering the question is, for the woman, is she wrong for feeling the way that she feels? Stacey says, nope, she's not wrong. Not being there for your firstborn child is unacceptable. However, forgiveness is necessary. He's showing what's his priority. That statement is further chimed in by Ashley McAllister. She says, when you have kids, your kids come first. I get it.
It hasn't come yet.
Now, here is the funniest thing. I am super shocked by some of the women that are saying that she is wrong for having this feeling. I promise you, I didn't think no woman was going to say that this woman is wrong. When I saw this, I was like, every woman is going to chime in and like, you going to pick football over our child's birth? I just knew that's what every woman was going to say. I am not a woman. I have never been pregnant. I don't know everything that goes into being induced. So from my initial thought, my first inclination was, it's a football game. I get it. It's a non-pro football game. So he's not even getting paid. So it's just for fun. It's just something he's doing on the side to make the time go by. So if it were me, I would have probably just canceled the game, My bros would just have to understand, yo, you know what I'm saying? My wife is pregnant. She's induced and she's about to have a baby any day or time. And so my priority would be my firstborn child. That's me. That doesn't mean that everybody has that same thought process.
The key word is
the key is look at my green screen's falling over. The key is she's being induced. She's scheduled. She had a conversation. She sat down with her doctor and said, what date works for you? I guarantee you, I've been there. I've been in those doctor's offices. Me too. What date works for you? We'd like to induce on Monday, September, whatever, blah, 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 at 9 a.m. Does that work for you? Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, that date doesn't work for me because my husband is working so hard trying to get his football team to the championship. This is their first championship. Let's push it out a week because I would like to be at his game or at least support him so that he can be at the game. It's really that simple.
Right. Was that the conversation?
I feel you. And listen, there is nobody that is more into sports. There's nobody that is more athletic or into athlete or into athletics than I am. There's nobody that's more competitive than I am. Trust me. Now I've gained a little weight. I'm a little chunky on the right and the left. But if somebody said they finna go shoot some hoop right now, I'm getting ready to get my shoes. I'm going. So there's nobody that's more competitive than I am. But I'm trying to tell. So let me tell you a real story. When Allegra was having the twins, she did not have them vaginally. She had a C-section, and it was scheduled. She didn't pick that date. The doctors told her what date they was going to do it. It just so happened that I started a revival. I was getting ready to do my first revival ever as a preacher, as an evangelist. I was ready to do a revival that very night. I said, Allegra, you know what I did? I had a conversation. I said, Allegra, hey, this is the date they scheduled. I'm scheduled to start a revival that night. What's your thoughts? We had the conversation. She said, well, the babies will be born in the morning, whatever. By the time evening come, I'm sure they'll be in the nursery or whatever. Go do your thing and come back. Here's what I did. That date was scheduled. We went to the hospital in Sacramento. First thing in the morning, I was there all day. Brought my church clothes with me. I got dressed for church in the maternity ward. The babies were born 12:08, 12:10. I stayed there from 8 o'clock in the morning until the longest I could, to 5:30 in the evening. Went and ran and preached and won't he will? Yeah, look at your neighbor. And then I got right back on the road, drove all the way back to Sacramento, spent the night there in the hospital, did what I had to do. So I was able to multitask, but that was only because she and I had a conversation and we came to an agreement.
But it's no conversation in this passage we saw. She gave you an ultimatum. And that's the problem I'm having when she said, I will never forgive you if you won't be there. Where's the conversation? Because believe me, and I understand, because that's the same thing happened to me when I, was induced, with my first child. Like, it was Super Bowl Sunday, but I knew they was going, hey, Merry Christmas. And
know the heart of the people.
We worked it out. But here's the thing, Miles is more medical. I wasn't scheduled because I felt like I was ready. Believe me, I've been ready. And it was even with the twins. They was born on leap day. Ooh. Do you think I wanted to pick that day? No, but but it happened. But the problem I'm having is the relationship between the two. The conversation, the mere fact that you have to come out and say, I ain't gonna forgive you if you don't do this. Like, why? Where you coming from? Like, what? Why is that dialogue there?
Yeah. Do you love me?
Wow, come on now. It doesn't need to go. Obviously, you had a moment of love, or you wouldn't be pregnant. Dion Coleman, First Lady, how you doing? Shout out. She said this game might determine future income for him. This might open doors. Now, we don't understand. We don't know. Is he the coach of the team? Is he the quarterback of the team? Like, honestly, we don't, right? We don't know what position, right? He plays on an adult non-pro football team, and it's their first time making it to the championship. So we don't know. It says he plays on a team. So maybe he's the quarterback. Okay, let's take that into consideration. Maybe playing in this championship game sets him up to be the coach if they win this game. Maybe he can now become a pro coach that is give him 6-7 figure income that's going to take care of the family. So I think that is Diamond Fee. I agree with Diamond Fee. She said a scheduled induction is not an emergency, usually done when the baby is late
or problem.
Right. So it's not. If they schedule a C-section, this is different. A scheduled C-section is a different issue altogether. You don't have a say in a scheduled C-section. The doctors are looking at your condition. They're looking at the condition of the baby, and they're like, this baby needs to be out now. We're scheduling it on this date, not negotiable. So
and it could
that's
be done
definitely
in
what you were
too.
saying. And that's key what you were saying, Dito, about Allegra. That, that wasn't negotiable. So you did what you had to do, but the key in your story, Dito, and you said it, and I hope everybody pays attention.
Right.
You sat down and you had a conversation. This is what I know to be true. Tell me what it is that you know to be true. Let's put all of our, coins on the table. Leave nothing, because we don't want to have any resentments. We don't want to have anybody be like, cool, you want to go to the thing? Cool. Okay, it's okay. Go ahead. No, for real. It's good. It's good. And then 6 months later, now, you getting cut by words because the person wasn't honest in the beginning with that conversation. So definitely love this. I know Sabrina Robertson she's having a hard time with this as Shop Talk. I know, sis. I wish that you were on the air so that you could lend your voice. But she said, no. When the season is over, he's going to go right back to being Jake from State Farm. Wow. Wow.
Wow. She being messy, boo.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? Khakis.
He sounds hideous.
Yeah. Now to George Hines, I'm gonna point out this comment. He says he needs to give her more attention. This is a cry for help. # I won't argue. Now I definitely hear you on that, and I know what it's like to be pregnant and have a husband that has other activities going on. I'm going to leave it at that. So, yeah.
I can agree that could be one issue. The other issue is she could be spoiled and she always want her way. We don't know.
Come on, spoiled.
We don't know. Because, when you're pregnant, you ain't at your best. I had a full cage beard. My hair was all... Yes, because I was on bed rest with my twins for 5 months.
You said a beard, though.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Because, the hormones changes. So you can grow extra hair. That's what I did. That's my story. That's what it is. Nobody saw it. We ain't got no pictures. It's all good. But I had a whole, but it was straight. It was some straight hair, so it wasn't kinky. But it was straight. But all my hair was out because I laid down for 5 months. I was on bed rest for 5 months with contractions.
Yes, I was too, actually.
So you understand, we're not feeling pretty.
I didn't grow a beard, though.
Praise God. Some people do.
Some people do. Diamond Fee said, I had a scheduled induction with my last, and it was because she was due on the 7th of December, and by the 19th had not come, and the doctor asked me, did I want to be induced at that time? So again, I just want us to be really clear that there's a different conversation that goes on with induction than with C-section. So if this is a, he's feeling like she's not supporting him, and she's feeling like he's not supporting her. So here's what I know the difference between men and women. Women want love and men want respect. Women want love and men want respect. When a woman doesn't feel loved, she disrespects the man a lot of times.
80-20.
A lot of times. When a man feels disrespected, he doesn't show love to the woman. So this is when we get in this cycle of now nobody's going to win. Nobody's going to win because he feels disrespected and she feels unloved. Nobody's going to win. So somebody at some point, this is why we have marriage counseling. This is why we have people that need to come in and be mediators, because a mediator can look at this and say, you want to be loved, right? Yes. You want to be respected, right? Yes. Okay, so let's fix it so that you both get what you want. Because when you have that cycle, when that engine is running and she feels loved and he feels respected, you're gonna have an amazing, wonderful marriage because both people are in their natural habitat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's t-shirt ministry right there.
I fully believe she should find out if it's a possibility to change the induction date so that she can show him respect. And he should see if it's possible for him to find a sub for the game so that he can be at the birth. Now, both people are putting work into the issue. Now, we're not each other's problem. The problem is the problem. Let's be a team and work out the problem.
I hear you.
Amen.
And, you know, the funny thing is Deion Coleman and Didi Felder both just came up with the same thing almost in duet harmony. And that is that the ultimatum was unnecessary.
It was necessary.
Now, I agree with you that, as I mentioned with my scenario, a conversation was had to get an understanding.
Yes.
And this is why communication is key. And everything you just said, Ashlyn, you are so absolutely right in terms of what men want, in terms of respect, and that women want love. You could not be more on point with that. And when a man feels disrespect, you're not going to get that love that woman wants. And I think that's turned off. You are right now. That's why she's giving him this ultimatum, because somewhere down the line during his pregnancy, whether it was hormones, emotions, whatever, she could have disrespected him. And when he did the disrespect, he said, okay, lady, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to my football game. You understand? I don't care what you do in terms of inducing it. Because you disrespected me and we can't come to some sort of a agreement that makes sense, I tell you what I'm going to do. I holler. I'm going to be at my football game. Let me know how things go.
Right.
And not saying that either one of them are right in that instance, but sometimes men make rash decisions when we've been disrespected.
And that's true. And that's the first thing you want to do is buck back.
Good.
And that's what you did.
And I will say this, if they don't figure out how to fix this issue or to address this issue and find a solution, it will keep coming up in the marriage again and again. What happens if now he is promoted on his job and he's getting a reward, an award, and they're having a dinner, and she is speaking at an engagement out of town, or her mother is sick and they need to go right now. How do you prioritize? So I remember, you know, my parents are no longer with us. God bless them, rest their souls. They were married over 40 years. And the thing that I loved about their marriage, my mom would go to things that she didn't want to go
sacrifice
because it was important to my dad. And here's the thing, my dad didn't ask for much. He didn't ask for much. And they were married over 40 years. My mother would say, she would whisper to me out of her mouth, she was like, I cannot stand these people. We getting ready to go to the bridge club. Like she didn't even, but she knew how important it was to him. It's those little. Now I'm not saying a baby is a little sacrifice. I'm not. Don't think that I'm saying that. This is a very big. It's pivotal.
Right.
This is a pivotal moment in their marriage, and if they can't figure out how to compromise or how to make it work, it's going to come up again and again and again until they fix it. And if they don't, I hate to say it, but it will tear their marriage apart. It will.
But then the flip side of that is if they don't fix it, that means this baby is going to be born into some chaos.
How about that?
Then you plant seeds within that child.
How about that?
And so insecurities come about, and then depending on how the child is, they can play each parent against each other. Or
and she's already planting seeds because the baby's in her and she's having all these different feelings. So it's already something rising up in the inside. You know what I'm saying? So
that was so. I think the real key of what Ashlyn was saying was the whole total love and respect. Once we understand each other love language in that area, you know, that was so key. That was so important. And that helps build a foundation. Hey, okay, that's when you say, you're not hearing me, you're not listening to me. It's the same thing. And I love the fact that you said love and respect. Women want to be loved, men want to be respected. And let me tell you, when a man feel like they disrespected,
Oh, yeah, it's on. Shout out to Cheryl Lofton Booth, who is tuned in with us today. Hi, sister. And she says, always go for a birth. The rest is childish. So, yes. I mean, this is the birth of a child. So I definitely want to put some weight on there. The thing that we're really questioning is, can it be rescheduled? That's all we're asking. And if it can't, and let's add this, because she wants to get her question answered. Am I wrong? If you have done everything that you can do to reschedule it, like, don't dig your heels in and say, I'm not rescheduling it because I want to see if he's going to show up to the birth of child or the football. That's just wrong. It's a wrong spirit. That's a wrong spirit. It's not coming from a place of love for yourself or him or the child.
Right. And that is childish.
Right. And that is childish. So see if you can get the induction pushed out just one day, and maybe, and if you can't do that, now we have to have another conversation. And we don't want anybody to be wrong. That's the thing. She's asking, am I wrong? We don't want anybody to be wrong. And everybody can come out of the situation right, on the right side of it.
It was something that you said earlier. It's about making adjustments.
Yes.
That was early on in the show.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
that's what life is about. It's about making adjustments. Yes. So it's all coming full circle.
And I think that as women, sometimes we get stuck in our feelings. We do. We get stuck with an idea in our head. And I mean, I'm sure men do their version of that as well. But as a woman, I know definitely there have been times in my life where I'm like, I'm not moving on this because I want to see what the other person is going to do. And it's just not right. It never got me what I wanted. What I wanted is closeness. Yeah. What I wanted was connection. What I wanted was a bond. What I wanted was to build trust. And I didn't create that by saying, if you don't do this, I will do this. And ultimately, don't put forth ultimatums.
Right. It don't feel good.
Don't put out ultimatums.
That's grounds for that's grounds for termination.
My husband said, I'm gonna say one quick thing, I'm gonna let it go. My husband said something very sweet to me a couple weeks ago. He put a Facebook page up when he first was doing DJing. He said, I want to give shout outs to my wife, because at that time he was playing his music out. Like, you can hear it all in the house, and it's loud. And all you hear is the same. He said, not once did she say, shut that mess up, or stop it, or why are you doing that? So now he, see where he is now compared to where he was at the beginning. That's growth. I respected him.
Most definitely. And you know what I love about this is we're still getting more great comments about this. So shout out to Sabrina for giving us this information. Let me just read a couple more things and we're going to move on. Benita Adams-Jones says the key is communication. Let's work together. Benita, great words. Dee Dee Felder also chimes in and she says it takes two. And she says ultimatums are from the devil. Yes. I agree with that as well. And this whole thing, I mean, Sabrina, I know you at home doing what you got to do, but you play too much. But yeah, this has been another great one. Ashlyn, close us out with this segment. I mean, this has been crazy.
Well, it's so funny when we have any discussions about relationships, because I'm single. I've been single for a long time. I definitely have taken it on to prepare myself as a wife to be. And so when I share these nuggets or this wisdom, this is because I really care about being a wife. I care about being prepared and learning from all of you that have successful marriages, and even those that have had unsuccessful marriages, learning from both sides of that. And so I so appreciate all of your feedback and all of your wisdom. It's making me a better woman and a better wife to be. So thank you. Shout out to Sabrina for bringing us another great edition of Ask Shop Talk, and keep your questions coming. We definitely want to provide as much feedback and as much wisdom as we can. So from all of us here at Shop Talk, thank you.
Most definitely. Appreciate that, Ashlyn. Again, this has been absolutely amazing. Now, I want to say something. Hopefully no one gets offended by this. You know, people can get offended by the littlest of things, but people were asking me over the weekend in regards to the anniversary party. We did not charge, did not have no fee, nothing like that. Matter of fact, we gave out a ton of money, and we're glad to do that. We had some great games. that we had, and all these type of wonderful things. But we did have some people who were asking, hey, we want to donate to what you're doing. We want to be a part of that. How can we do that? And I want to just put this on the screen. If you feel like you want to share or sow a seed into Freedom Radio, you absolutely can do so on Cash App if you have it available. All you have to do is do the money sign in Freedom Radio, and it's on the screen right now. It's not mandatory. No, we're not raising an offering, nothing like that. But people have asked me over the weekend, hey, you didn't charge anything. How can we sow back into you? And we just want to let you know, first of all, thank you for even thinking of us in that way. It means so much that you would even consider trying to donate or sow seeds into Freedom Radio. We believe that without a doubt that we are fertile ground. And I am so looking forward to this next year and beyond and what God is getting ready to do. It is going to be something absolutely amazing. And we want you to be a part of it. So if you feel inclined or the unctioning you want to donate to Freedom Radio, by all means, feel free to do so. Just simply go to Cash App and type in $, Freedom Radio. And we would love to be able to have that. No amount is too big or too small. We're grateful for it all. Whatever you would like to do, it means so very much. Looking up at the clock, it is time for us to get ready to get out of here. This show has been absolutely amazing, and I'm glad to have all of you. And this show's been great. Now, I see Jacory's trying to connect one more time. I don't know if he's having some connection issues, but it's all good. DeVaris, before we go, any closing comments, final thoughts that you would like to share?
Yes, thank y'all again for having me. With my ideas and ideologies, feelings, everything. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what you say. I love learning from everything what everybody was saying. Sometimes you got to sit back and digest and, take in everything that you are hearing. That's what life is all about. It's about learning and learning from each other. So I want to say thank y'all. Get your girl CD right here, Accidentals. My shirt. That's my CD cover. Accidental. Y'all can go and get that. It's an EP, and y'all can get it on any streaming device or digital outlet. There you go. Bam. Y'all say bless.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. Good stuff. And again, glad to have you. Appreciate you been hanging out for the last few weeks. Jacory, before we go, closing comments, final thoughts.
I just like to say to everybody, we're in a season where we're losing a lot of our famous entertainers. Reach out and touch, encourage somebody, and just continue to spread love.
Most definitely. That is good stuff as well. Ashlyn Cole, closing comments, final thoughts.
I want to encourage everybody. Thank you for watching Shop Talk. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the newest show on Freedom Radio with Jacory and myself called Better Together. And tomorrow is very exciting. We have two great artists that we're going to be talking to, Ernest Pugh and Nikita Clegg Fox. Super excited. It's a 30-minute show. We've jam-packed so much information and fun into it. And so join us, and don't forget to like the FDR Better Together page on Instagram.
Awesome stuff. Listen, we have so much that has happened. DeVaris trying to get my attention. Yes, ma'am.
And that's 4 p.m. on the East Coast. So don't get it twisted. It's not 1 o'clock here. So I want y'all to go and check out their show at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 p.m. I had to count it out. So support East Coast family, support Better Together. Get up on that.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. Listen, we have had an absolutely amazing time. We're about to get ready to go, but I just want to encourage everyone in this season to, first of all, stay safe. Secondly, make smart decisions. 3, you've got to be able to adjust. And when you adjust, you will see a shift. Watch this. When you adjust, you will see a shift. Shift not only being a word, but also being an acronym. Shift meaning see how I fit today. Things are not always going to be like they have always been. Change is imminent. Things are always changing around your world, around your neighborhood, around your life. All you have to do is just roll with the shift, see how I fit today, and things will work out even better for you. Looking at the clock, it's time for us to get ready to get out of here. But on behalf of Ashlyn Cole out in El Sobrante, DeVaris Burnett in Greensboro's North Carolina, and Jacory in his undisclosed but Bay Area location. My name is Tito. I'm out here in Oakland, California. Yay, yay. Until the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time, you know how I do. I'll holla.
Yeah, I got school in the morning, yes, morning. Stomach day was some praise in the morning. I hit the snooze, mama keep calling. Always late, wash your face, we gotta get going. Running out the house, but slip my mind. Did I brush my teeth? I could come this time. Got my Jumpman's on, yeah, I feel so fly. My dad looked at me, that's my God. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord.